dad was looking for hunting. My dad always had hunting dogs, and he was looking in the newspaper for beagles, and he came across 3 sled dogs in the newspaper. So we went and looked at them, and we ran them, and we were like, oh, these run pretty good. So we got them, and then 3 became 12, and then 12 to 30. So the Alaskan Husky is just kind of a breed that formed in Alaska. Siberians were never really the go-to dog. They were imported and they were crossed with Alaskan, so there is Siberian and Alaskan, but pretty much during the gold rush, people just crossed in whatever would pull. Whatever would pull the sled, they would cross in. And then there's herding dogs, there's all kinds of hunting dogs, and traditional Alaskan breeds mixed into the Alaskan Husky to make it up. And then in the 70s, when racing really started to take off versus using dogs for trapping, they started crossing in sight hounds. And then over in Europe, they've always used pointers, like English pointers and German short hairs, to haul back game from when they were hunting or to haul camping gear. And they'd ski out into the bush and hunt with the dogs, and then they'd haul everything back in what is called a polk. And then eventually that became its own racing sport. And then there's also skijoring, where skiers will ski with the dogs and the dogs will pull them. And then eventually they started having the dogs pull sleds too. And then in the 90s, they started importing Alaskan Huskies, and we started importing pointers, and we're crossing the two, and that made the Eurohound. So the type of racing we do is a little bit different. We do sprint racing, which is short and fast, versus the Iditarod, which is long and requires a lot of endurance. So our dogs are specialized to the type of racing we do. Lemon, our dogs would be called Eurohounds. They're a hybrid sled dog. They have Alaskan Husky, German Shorthair, Greyhound, and then we also have some that have a little bit of Saluki in them. There's dryland racing, where you race on scooters and lightweight rigs and bikes. And there's just a few different classes you can do when you're dryland racing. Like there's bike jor, where you have a dog pull you on a bike. There's canicross, where you run with a dog pulling you. Rig racing, scooter racing. And on the rigs, you have anywhere from a 4-dog team to an 8-dog team pulling you on a rig. And then in the winter, there's skijoring, there's 4-dog sled, 6-dog sled, 8-dog sled, 10-dog sled. And then there's unlimited too, which unlimited is where you can run as many dogs as you want on a team. So we have 4 4-dog teams, and then I have 4 puppies right now, which aren't old enough to run. And then we also have a bunch of retired dogs. So they go into training when I'll do harness work with them when they're little, and I'll have them pull me while I'm running. That's called canicross. And then I'll have them pull like a lump of chains or a tire. And then when they're about 8 months old, we'll harness break them in the team, but they don't do any real hardcore work. They just kind of learn how to run. And then when they're a year old, they go into training. And usually for that first year, they'll be on a puppy team, so they can just learn the ropes. And then when they're 2, they're full blown. They're in their prime, ready to go. And usually they don't slow down until they're 7 or 8 years old. In the fall, we start by building up muscle, and we'll train them on heavy rigs, and we are really teaching the dogs how to pull at that point. We'll also train them on 4-wheelers, and we can't train them if it's over 40 degrees, so we have to be real conscious of temperature at that point. And then in the winter, we switch to sleds, and we'll run them from on the sleds. So I put banners, or I have some tape over here, and things that the dogs might see at races, because at some of the races there's banners and archways that you'll run over sometimes, and I just put stuff to distract them, there might be at a race. We have a lot of dogs. We have 30 dogs. So we have Phelps, Maverick, Scully, Trooper, I already said Maverick, Lemon, Cara, Fury, Pearl, Oliver, Charm. We had Abby, and then Nix and Knox are my 2 puppies, and then I also have 2 other puppies, which Heathen and harm. And so the dogs live outside. Most people are like, oh, don't they get cold? But dogs work a little bit different than humans. Like their paws have different circulatory system in them than humans, it's more similar to like a penguin. So that's why they can stand on snow barefoot. And then they also have houses that are insulated, and we bed them with straw that they can go in and get out of the elements. And we water them with a meat mix in the morning, so we know that they're nice and hydrated. And then they also get watered at night, and we feed them once a day. We can't feed more than once a day because there needs to be 8 hours before you run them. Otherwise, you're risking the dog of bloat, because if they have food in their stomach, then it's bouncing around and can cause their stomach to flip over, which can kill them. So they only need to eat once a day. So these would be the leaders. Those two would be the leaders. These are the point dogs, and then those are the wheel dogs. Leaders make the decision, or they take the commands. The point dogs, I'm gonna back them up, and then the wheel dogs, I usually put the young dogs in wheel, except I ended up switching them while I was running. That black one, he's a yearling, and Lemon is an experienced dog, and she's like keeping him in line to keep him going. G is right, Haw is left, and then I ask them if they're ready, and then I say, all right, and then we go. And Whoa is stop. So one time when my brother was racing, one of his point dogs, he was running a 6-dog team, and point dogs would be the ones in the middle, and his point dogs bit the line, and his is in the middle of the race, so his leaders took off without him. And one of the people who was trail help ended up catching them, and so he had to tie his line together and finish the race that way. I'm about to give him treats for running.